Hey TLC community, welcome back to a special edition of Dropping Knowledge today. I really wanted to just dig right in and talk about something that's been recent in the news in the health world about the seed oils that have been found in chosen foods and primal food products. So I think it's a really important opportunity to kind of talk about who actually owns the brands in your pantry. Because I'll let you know, I was the first to go from 0 to 100, that Sagittarius fire, right away, but and get angry, but I decided to kind of peel it back and do some research. And in that, I really wanted to share it with you. So I have some very concise notes here. So I will be looking back and forth because I really want to keep this factual and concise. So specifically today, let's kind of keep it on chosen foods, only because that's a brand that I really talk about a lot on the community and I use it a lot in the community. So a little bit about chosen foods, founded in 2011, but they were bought out in 2024, okay, by Butterfly Equity. So it's important to say that Primal Foods was bought out earlier by Kraft Heinz, and that was actually in 2019. So Chosen Foods isn't currently a PepsiCo owned brand, which is kind of an important distinction. So let's bring in what's happened recently. This seed oil testing by UC Davis, and a little bit of background because I think it's really important. So who is UC Davis? They are a University of California, Davis, specifically Research University in California. And I wanted to quote this here because this testing is led by Dr. Selena Wang, who is a specialty in food science and testing, and she's been testing avocado specific products for years. She actually sits on an avocado oil board. And I think it's important to be clear about this wasn't just some random internet lab. They are a major research university. And it's been studying, again, avocado oil since 2020. And here's the interesting part. In the 2020 avocado oil brand studies, they found that only 2 brands were pure and not oxidized. And guess what? Chosen Foods was one of those brands. So in 2026, we see that Chosen Food mayo and dressing products were included in the products that were announced that they failed the processed food testing. So to be clear, to my knowledge at this moment, the actual avocado oil from Chosen Foods is not what failed. And here's the thing. Because they were bought out in between the testing, 2020, everything is pure. 2026, we're getting these results that are coming back with impurities. It's really easy for us all to say, well, it's the buyout. Someone bought it out and the bigger brands bought it out, and now the ingredients are going down the hill. I'm not saying that this isn't the reason, but I'm also trying to look into that it might actually not be the reason. There's a bigger nuanced story here about the whole food industry, but I don't want to digress here. I kind of want to stay on track. So if you have been a community member with me, for that long of a period, you will know that I do talk a lot about Chosen Foods, avocado mayo. They have a vegan mayo now. I do talk a lot about the avocado oil in the community, and you see it come up a lot on my recipes. It was really reliable back then. They still have on their website that they were one of the 2 companies in 2020 to come back. So back then I had a legitimate evidence backing up this claim. So specifically for Chosen Foods, let's talk about what failed. So classic mayo failed. Vegan mayo failed. Now I've never used these 2 products, but the lemon garlic dressing and the zesty Italian dressing also failed. So again, very important. These were specific products and lots tested in 2025 and 2026. So technically, it doesn't prove that every single product from either of the companies contains seed oils. And it doesn't prove the acquisition caused the change. But again, things that make you, kind of question and go, hmm. So then I sit back and I wanted to give it a little bit of time and I wanted to see, did these companies respond? So Chosen Foods has directly responded and they say they do not add seed oils, that they use the same avocado oil in their mayo, their dressings, and in their cooking oil, and that their avocado oil is tested internally by third parties. And they actually go on to say that they dispute the UC Davis findings and they say they believe the testing methodology does not adequately account for finished condiments and dressings. So it's not a story right now where the companies have said, yes, we admit to switching to these oils. In fact, both of them continue to stay the opposite. So this is where we want to zoom in. This was the point of my video here. To zoom out, This isn't just about two brands. So for example, we see companies, whether you know it or you don't know it, it's not your job to know it, but it's definitely part of my job and part of my career. This is just one of a million stories, that might be an exaggeration, a million, but where larger companies are buying out our small favorites. For example, like Siete. I love Siete products. I talk about Siete products, but not sure if anybody knew that PepsiCo bought them out in January of 2025. These big food companies, they're smart, right? It's a whole money thing. They see consumers moving towards cleaner labels, organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, plant-based, seed oil-free, functional foods, gut health, all of the things. So instead of waiting for these independent brands to take market share, they simply buy them. And this leaves a lot of us, myself included, feeling very uncomfortable because we know these bigger food companies are the same food companies that are putting out things with rancid oils, artificial colors, artificial flavors, highly refined sugars, high fructose corn syrups, all of the things. And it's hard then when we see some of our favorite products change and testing fail after they've been bought by these companies. So my takeaway message is this. I can't tell you that I am 100% certain that it isn't something other than just the company acquisition, but right now it's a big mystery. So regardless of what it is, it leaves you feeling unsettled. My advice to everybody is what it always has been. Don't just look at the front package. I've been guilty of this. Don't just make assumptions. I've been buying this brand forever. It's the same brand, it's the same product, because we don't know always right away who owns the company. And every once in a while, it is worth taking that product, turning it around and saying, looking at the label. That's so important. Your favorite brand might still have the same name, the same packaging, the same founder story on the back, but the ownership can change. And with that, ingredients can change, suppliers can change. So that's where if you're going, well, Tanya, if it's not because of, the new companies putting in seed oils, what could have changed? It can go down the supply chain, right? So suppliers for those other ingredients in the mayos or in the salad dressings, those could have changed with the new company acquisition. And that's maybe where it's tainted, not the oil itself, like the avocado oil or the Primal Foods. So it's so important to try to be aware of this. That's what I'm here for. That's what the community's here for. I talk a lot about seed oils in general, how inherently it's not necessarily the seed oil itself. It's the ratio, because these seed oils are in everything. That's a really important video to watch in the community. We also have an episode on the podcast, What's My Age Again? What the O, where we talk about that. And for me, it's important to continue finding, while they still exist, hopefully, these smaller companies who know their supply chains, who are there on the day to day. And I have actually been using a different avocado oil, unrefined now, for the past 6 months. It's a local BC company. And on Monday on the TLC community, I'm going to be doing a deep dive, a whole food spotlight into that specific avocado oil I use and the brand, the small company where I buy it from. And yes, they ship across Canada. So stay tuned for that. Also on the TLC community, I have my own mayo recipe. Goodness, must be going on 6 years old now. Still use it. That you can create using, an unrefined avocado oil from a smaller company right now until we kind of see Chosen Foods and Primal Foods, everything getting back on track. It's hard these days. It makes a lot of us just say, well, we're damned if we're do, we're damned if we don't. But there is always another solution, I feel. We don't have to overcomplicate things. We don't have to panic. This video isn't fear-based, but it's for information-based. We do need to be aware that food companies don't always have our best interests in mind. And the more we know, the more we understand who's doing what and looking at those ingredients, the better we can feel about even the more healthier brands we're choosing, because let's face it, quicker and quicker, they're getting snapped up by the bigger food companies. And I'm not saying it's their intention to change everything and not tell us, but I'm also not saying that as well. So the more you know. So come on into the community, check out some of those other videos, rewatch them. If you're new, watch them for the first time and try that mayo recipe. You will be surprised how fast and easy it is to make real vegan mayo at home, right in front of your eyes, using a blender. Okay, guys, take care.